Eubanks, and today I'm talking with my grandmother, Iris Scott.
Hello.
So, where did our family come from, and how do you know?
Well, what part of your family is coming from Germany?
Okay.
Because that's actually where I'm from.
Okay.
I wasn't born in this country. I was actually born in Germany.
Okay.
And I have been over here for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
That is a long time. And I got married in Germany to your grandfather, who was a dentist in the Air Force at that time. And we met and we got married.
Oh, how nice. Could you tell me?
And I'll tell you how I happened to be at the hospital where your grandfather worked. My mother was also working there. She was a contract physician for the United States for 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah, and she was there at the same hospital, and that's how we met.
Oh, okay. Could you tell me a little bit about your father?
My father was from the northern part of Germany, a city called Hamburg.
Okay.
And we were not that close to that side of the family.
Okay.
We didn't see too much of them, so I really don't know that much about it.
Okay. And what was the town where your mother worked?
Actually, that was an Air Force base,
Okay.
and that's not as interesting as maybe the town I was born in,
Okay.
which is Frankfurt. Everybody
Okay.
knows Frankfurt, Germany. That's a very, well-known city.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, what else would you like to know?
How did you come here? Can you tell me a little bit about like your journey here to where you are
You
now?
mean I came on an airplane?
Okay.
Not on a boat, on an
Okay.
airplane. And that was interesting because it took a long time for me to get permission to come over here. We had to go through lots of tests and lots of background checks and everything because they want to make sure that I was not somebody
Right.
they didn't want over here. But finally we got permission and I came over here, and my first place I lived was in Warner Robins, Georgia.
Oh, okay. How did you adjust to being in America versus being in Germany?
Well, I can say that I actually had kind of a hard time adjusting to it because even though I had English in school, it's not that easy to go to another country.
It's a completely different culture.
Yes, everything is different. All the customs and everything.
Right.
So I had I would say it probably took me 7 years to totally feel completely at home here. And also, that's when I started dreaming in English.
Oh, wow.
Up till then, somebody asked me that some time ago, and it's really true. It took 7 years for me. But now I dream in English, if you can believe that. And I talk to my sister, who's still in Germany, 2 or 3 times a week. And that's how I keep my German going.
Yeah.
Because if you don't use a language, Sophie, you will lose it. I also had French. I actually had more years of French than English. Well, started out with Latin, actually. And then French and English. And I have pretty much totally forgotten all the French.
Oh, wow.
But I probably won't need it, so it's okay.
Okay. Wow, okay. So how many generations can you trace back from your parents, would you say?
See, I was just talking about that with my sister not too long ago, and we really don't have any. Maybe my grandmother and grandfather, that's it. That's all I think we can go back to.
Okay. And can you recall any names?
Let's see. My grandfather's name for my mother's side, which is the side that I know more of, his name was Karl Heinz Horn was the last name.
Okay.
And my grandmother's name was Josephina, which is Josephine in English. And my sister and I can't figure out how she got that name.
Yeah, that's very different.
Yeah. So that would be the two that I can remember.
Do you remember anything about their professions or anything?
Yeah, my grandfather was an architect.
Okay.
And he was a really good painter. I mean, he loved to paint, I think he did watercolors and oil, and he really did some good jobs with those. Yeah. I have one little oil, that's all I got. The other ones went to the other side.
Okay.
They wanted and they had got a hold of it, but I have one. So he was very talented.
Wow.
And we have a few in the family now that are very talented in that department, so I think his genes might have
definitely
passed on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any veterans in our family that you know of?
Actually, yeah. Your grandfather, who is my husband, he was in the Navy when he was 17 years old, if you can believe that. That must have been horrible. All I know is that his mother cried when he got on the train. He's told me that story. And then, after he got out, he was in the Air Force. And he was in the Air Force for 36 years.
Wow. Do you know any specific stories from that time?
From the Air Force stories? Yeah. Well, no, like, not really, but you know, I'll tell you what he did after he got out of the Air Force. As I said earlier, he's a dentist. Or did I say that he was a dentist?
Yeah.
Okay, he is a dentist, was a dentist. He's now retired about a year ago. He retired. And he was a dentist in the Air Force.
Okay, wow.
So that's, where that came from. And we were at a lot of different bases in the United States. I'm trying to think how many, probably like 10 or so. 10
wow,
or so.
yeah.
Yeah. And your mom and your uncle were with us the whole time because right after you got married, pretty soon after, I had your uncle, and then Mom came along, and we moved a lot. I think that was probably a good thing because when you do that, you kind of get adjusted to, to life easier than if you're in the same place all the time.
Right.
So both of them have done really well.
Do you have a favorite place that you lived?
In this country?
Yes.
I have to think about. Actually, I have to say the one that I'm living in right now.
Okay.
We've been there for years and years now since, at the end. And I never thought that I would live in North Carolina permanently, but that's kind of where we ended up. And I really like it. It's a small town. We're living in a small town, and 40,000 is all.
Yeah.
And it's a nice life.
Yes, it is. So, could you tell me any stories about our family?
Oh, that's a broad question. Like, what were you thinking of?
Maybe some of, from your immigration or anything that really comes to mind.
My immigration. Well, I'll tell you this. I remember when I came into New Jersey, McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey.
Okay.
And when we got in the car, we picked up a car that we had ordered in Germany, and it was an Oldsmobile. Now they don't even make Oldsmobiles anymore, but it was a really nice little car, and we were driving to Georgia in that car. And I remember we got on the road and everything, and I saw all these billboards on the side of the road. And I said, "What's with this?" And they don't have that in Germany.
Really?
They're not allowed. No, there weren't any. It really was gray and rainy and a bunch of billboards, and I was feeling a little sad.
Yeah.
But I remember that to this day because it was just an impression that I had that I had never had before.
Wow, yeah.
So, and then we went to visit your grandfather's aunt in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, first we went to Niagara Falls. I got to see Niagara Falls. And then I think we went to the World's Fair that was going on at the time.
Oh, really?
Somewhere, I can't even remember where that was, but we did. And then we drove all the way to Georgia in that little Oldsmobile.
Uh-huh.
And then we got a little place that the Air Force gave us, and that was my first experience. It was nice, and I still like it here.
Yes.
To today, I love it. Would not want to be anywhere else.
Okay. Do you have any stories from your childhood in Germany? Like that any come to mind, or?
No, you have to ask me something specific. And I just seem to feel like I gave you a lot.
Yes. Okay.
So.
And lastly, do we have any genealogical records?
Obviously, I don't have any.
Okay.
Because I can hardly get my, so it's really kind of sad, and I don't know, and there's nobody really left to ask anymore. See, that's the bad part. So that's why you really should make some, like you, and you at your age now, you need to be sure and get all the records, so this won't happen to someone else one day when they ask the same question,
Yes.
So.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. It was such a pleasure.
Oh, you're so welcome.
I enjoyed your stories.
You're so welcome, and I'll do it again sometime.
Okay.